everybody. Welcome back. This is Chicago Archeries to the point. We got a special guest today. Well, let's first get through the stuff that we normally do. We're going to first put up our email at chicagoarchery@gmail.com. CATOTHEPOINT at Chicago Archery to the point. If you have any input, requests, or anything like that, tell us how great we're doing. We are also at Chicago Archery to the point on YouTube. If you want to see this particular, you won't have to. We'll explain everything that we're doing. But if you want to go to the YouTube, and please subscribe to the podcast and to the YouTube, or both, above, one or the other. We're on all medias, so you can listen to it at work, at home, however you want to do it. Here are shenanigans day and night. All right. Today I've got a guest, Wojtek. Wojtek's one of our shooters here at the shop. When I say shooters, he's got into archery, how many years ago? Close.
Like 3 years ago. 2020, I think I got in there. 2020.
There you go. 2020. Yeah, right around, right. Yeah, a couple years ago. You came in with your brother.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I brought it in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he started shooting, and then you just took off with it. Wojtek is a perfect example of somebody that you can tell that loves archery. He has taken it. He first got a bow, started practicing, got better, wanted to know more about it. The more he found out about it, the more he practiced. The more he practiced, the better the equipment he started getting. He was outgrowing his intermediate stuff, and now he's into a bunch of archery stuff. You build your own arrows now. You're tuning your own bows now, which is good. We help you out with that. And you go to the TAX. You go to you go to the Total Archery Challenge. You do practice here every week. You're just really into it. It just kind of shows. It's how many years? So you've been 2020, so we're going on your 4th year, right? So you're running into that 3-year expert thing that I always talk about.
Oh, 3-year expert. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
that fucking know everything. Which is great. All right. I'm going to turn off the screen and put us back on because everybody really likes to see us. The one question is today, it's Maker's Mark. I get what am I drinking today? And it's Maker's Mark. And then I do get the emails of saying, hey, Bob, you really slur your words more with this bourbon than that bourbon. Is it stronger? Okay. We're trying to talk archery here, but yes, Maker's Mark is a full wheat, no, what's the other? Wheat.
Barley?
No, the wheat and the, whatever. It's
rye.
Rye. Yeah. It's all wheat, no rye. I really enjoy that. I'm an ambassador for Maker's Mark. So drink Maker's Mark. They don't sponsor the show. As of, nobody sponsors this show. I asked for one sponsor, and Vagisil declined us. So, true fact, I got the email. I think they saw the podcast or watched it on YouTube and denied me within 24 hours. They didn't say no. They said, fuck no.
Must have been no bow hunters out there then.
No, not at Vagisil. No. They all vote for Biden. But anyways, okay. Back to archery. Okay, so today we're going to start off talking about what time of season it is. Okay, we're at the beginning of February, 2024. So when you watch this 10 years down the road, I'm probably dead. But the same still applies. People are starting to look for sheds, as you did.
Yeah.
You went out on public land, pretty excited. You hunt a lot of public land. So that's why Wojtek's in here today, right? You hunt a lot of public land.
Yeah.
And some family property and stuff out in Pennsylvania.
Right. Yeah. My primary property out there.
Yeah.
But you own public land. You might as well hunt it, right?
Right. We're public land owners, right? That's what everybody says. So, except for in Illinois, you're a public land owner unless it comes to a decision. Then you have no rights whatsoever. You can't vote or do nothing on it because they took all of our rights away for our public land. They
Mhm.
call it forest preserve.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, where most of the country has grasslands. They also have national forests and stuff like that. We have forest preserves, which means we can't do anything with them.
Mhm.
So, but anyways, you do a lot of public land and out west, and man, you got a nice deer this year, right? Nice buck, right in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania. Yeah.
That was pretty cool, right?
It was exciting, put up a mock scrape, didn't think it would work. Lo and behold, stuff was popping up on the cameras, and then one evening he just came right in and right in front of me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So our season's over, and Pennsylvania's over, and a lot of people's seasons are over. Coming the first of, through January, a lot of season come down. A lot of people around the country listen to this. So like down in Alabama, I believe Whitetail just closed. They're a little bit behind us. So like if you watch the rut, it starts north and it starts working its way down. It's a really big pig season right now down in Florida. My Marine Corps buddy, Mark and his sons went out and they didn't get a pig this time. Got close, but didn't get anything. So congratulations, boys, on your first hunt. At least you got out there with your dad, and that's pretty cool. I couldn't do that with mine when I got older. My dad with his niece, and then how he passed away. But so what people do is we like to say in the hunting world, hunting's never over. Hunting is more than just killing an animal. It's preparation. Well, if you hear that, that's my new ice machine. If you heard that noise, that's my new ice machine here at the shop. So we hunt all year long. It's preparation, new equipment, new ways of doing things, new stuff out. And what we like to do is see what's kind of left over in the area. So we go shed hunting, right? Like you did.
Yep.
And you went shed hunting where?
Do
you want to say? You don't have to say if you don't want to.
It's south of here. It's in Kankakee.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went out there.
And you found a couple sheds, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Did you bring them in today?
No, I didn't.
What a dick. So, but I got the text. Wojtek and I are friends. I got the text say, hey man, I found sheds on public land, which is really cool. To do anything on public land isn't it cheap, right?
Yeah. You got to put in the work. Things are far. You got to walk.
Yeah.
You got to go where like nobody's going to go to places where people are just too lazy to go.
Right.
Yeah.
But where the deer are at, you still got to go and find and scout, which you do. I mean, you do it all year long. That's part of the hunting. So we're outdoorsmen, is what we are, especially you and I, because we both fish, fly fish, ocean fish, archery, you name it, gun hunt, whatever. So we're outdoorsmen. But to do stuff on public land, they say to go far, but what they really mean is you go to a place where you think the deer are at and you scout where most people won't go. It's hard to do. So that's part of our podcast today. We're going to be talking about sheds, kind of finding them, scouting your area. Okay. We're going to be preparing for the next season. And then we're going to talk about, I'm going to add a little food thing I'm going to throw in here. And then I also want to, we're going to talk about saddles, the beginning of saddles, because we're going to talk more about saddles as it goes. I'm newer to saddles. You've been using saddles more. And me being new and owning a shop, I'm setting up to help out others that want to do it. Because owning a shop isn't just selling things, it's to help the archery community. And that's the way I look at it. That's our mission, our goals here at Chicago Archery is to help people with their goals in archery. And part of it is hunting and saddles and keeping you alive. The number one way of people dying in Illinois has always been tree stands. The misuse of them, the not being safe in them. Well, saddles is one of the safest ways you can go. And we're going to talk about that later. All right, so let's talk about the sheds. So you were walking around, you went to an area you thought, and you were checking some trails, or what did you do?
Yeah, I was walking around some trails, trying to find some, old buck sign, any deer sign, anything. I was just trying to map out the area in my head.
Trying to get you a
trying
little
to map out the area,
Yeah.
And then I kind of just look around and I'm like, wow, this
Try to get you closer. There
I
you go.
could totally see deer being here. Like it's like there's a big field right here, and then it's semi thick where I'm walking. There's a bunch of trails, and then it just gets super thick. Like there's a bunch of big transition areas. This is cool. So I was walking around. I just looked down. I'm like, hey, there's something white over there. Boom, shed. And I got super excited. So I look at it's like
No way.
But
no way. You
here's
guys,
the
you
cool
have to
thing.
know Wojtek. He gets excited very easy.
I found the one, right? I found the one shed, and I was thinking to myself, like, man, I could maybe find the other one because they usually drop at the same time. 15 yards, bam, there's the other
That's
one.
not true.
That's
Just so
exactly what happened.
It did happen, but they don't always drop at the same. They do drop very similar, and they itch, and that they'll be a little lopsided, and they'll knock them off. But I have more than once seen a deer walking around. We call them ducks. You know, part doe, part buck, which the one with the one antler. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's what happened. You know, I thought to myself, hey, maybe he dropped the other one close by.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
15
That's
yards,
cool.
there it was.
So the moral of that story is if you see a shed, start doing a circle, like if you're trying to find your deer. And if you start looking and see where they were trailing and where they were walking in their path, you might walk it and might find the other one. And that I've found that quite a few that way, but more often I've always found one. Maybe my deer are just, I don't know. That's what they do, or something carries it away. But that's what you do. So you want to get out now, and it's the 1st of February. I have a picture last week I showed you of a deer, 10-pointer, still have his antlers on. My cousin right across the field from me, like quarter mile away, farm fields, by the way, quarter mile away, he just posted the other day that he got a couple of really nice, I just showed you the picture of nice sheds. So they are dropping in our area too, and we're 200 miles south of Chicagoland area. Yes, we are Chicago Archery, but we are not in Chicago. We're not in Chicago. If you know Chicago, you know why that's a big deal. Okay, so sheds, get your ass out there. All right, let's talk a little bit about. I'm gonna throw a food thing in here before we start getting going towards the other two things, next season and the other. All right. So lately on the internet, a lot of guys have been posting what they've been doing with their guys. They got their deer this year, elk or whatever, and they got their meat back, and you're excited. You're like, oh man, I gotta start eating it, right? But then in about 4 months, you're like, oh, I'm gonna make this last until October. So then you kind of taper off with it a little bit. So make sure you have it, unless you get a bunch of deer or have a freezer like mine, which has everything in it. I have pheasant, deer, bear, elk, whatever. So, a lot of guys, this thing I've been noticing lately is they're called they're doing they call them a venison tacos or deer tacos. And it's been kind of neat. And I wanted to bring it out to people. So what they're doing is they're taking the, venison or whatever your meat is ground, and what the hell was that?
Some diesel truck, probably.
Okay. We're in the shop right now. We're in Studio 365 right now. So they flatten it paper thin. They take a ball of it and they flatten it paper thin, but with a plate or something. And they use a tortilla and they put it on and they flatten it to tortilla. And then when they put it in their pan, usually got a pan where it's nice and hot, right? They put it in there meat side down. So it can cook, since it's flat, it'll cook all the way through faster. And the heat will get to the tortilla and then the juices of the meat or whatever get into the tortilla. And then they flip it over and then they put some cheese and stuff on it, what they want to put on there. And then as it's still hot, they fold it.
So it's like a quesadilla.
So it's more like a taco, like flat taco. But since you cooked it so long, that tortilla turns into like a hard taco shell almost.
Okay.
So you put it on there till the cheese melts, right? Blah, blah, blah. So that taco, and then when you fold it, when it's still hot, you don't want to burn it, right? You fold it till it's still hot with that cheese melting on top, and then they put whatever you want inside of it. I did it the other day. Let me tell you something. I did it with the herb spinach tortillas because I'm not a white.
Oh, the green ones?
The green ones. I am not a flour guy. I like the wheat tortillas. I like wheat bread. I don't eat a whole lot of bread. As you can see, I'm not 300 pounds anymore. Um, and I really love the herb and garlic, whatever, herb or whatever. And I put garlic in my meat. So I season the meat before, when I roll it up in the balls, I season it. And that's probably a good note. You should write that down. And then I did it with the cheese, and then I folded them, and I put them up like on my plate because I was making a bunch of them one after another, and I pulled them and I kind of let them with the cheese cool on the plate, and I kind of put them between something, so they kind of held open a little bit, but up, and they hardened like that. It was unbelievably delicious. So you could just kind of throw like I put a little, like different seasonings in there. I tried it with different stuff. So I tried some yum yum sauce. I don't know if anybody knows that's an Asian sauce. I tried that with some different lettuces and stuff, and then onions. And then I tried another one with the mustard and ketchup, like almost or no ketchup, but mustard and relish, or excuse me, mustard and ketchup, like a cheeseburger and some onions. And I did one like Mexican where I put some taco sauce in it and some cilantro and scallions and some tomatoes and stuff. So I tried it like that. So if I gave you some ideas, try it. It's really good. And it's neat to do it that way. So this is actually something that's kind of derived. We used to do this with moose out when we would kill a moose out in Alaska. And we would chop it up we would just like take a knife. We have a big knife, like a rolling knife. Ulu is what we call, and we just chop it all up and like really, we take a steak a lot of times and like really thin, pound it out with literally we would pound it with a rock. I hate to say that, a rock and a fork, a steel fork, a rock and a fork, and we pound it, kind of like tenderize it, and then cut it a lot. So it was real thin. So we cook through, and then we put the tortilla on top. So we cook it, brown it on one side, put it on the other side, start to cook it, put the tortilla on it. But we used to put the cheese and tortilla and do the same thing. Okay. So that's another version of that. All right. So you got your food thing for your podcast. And I know you feel free to email me. I will try to put that in print for you if you don't remember it, or you could watch the YouTube or listen to this podcast for like 9 times. Okay. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. I don't get any money for anything. I don't do this for money. As people know me, I don't do this for money. Okay.
It sounds good though. I'm gonna try it out.
It is.
Yeah.
But when my wife goes out of town, I cook up a couple different meats and I put a bunch of different condiments in bowls, like the Tupperware bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And all I do is I have a tortilla cast iron pan made by Lodge that I put it out. I put cheese on it, and then I put some sort of meat, bear, moose, elk, whitetail, pheasant, or something that I've browned up, whatever I was on top of the freezer, basically. Because I like to rotate my freezers. I have 2 of them. But then I put that on, and then I put some condiments on there, and I just fold them, put them up, and then I eat them. And if it's early morning, I just put an egg on top of it.
Whoa, that sounds good. Oh, that would be good with your you have that breakfast sausage recipe with your
Oh, the boar breakfast sausage. Yeah. If you have it, look up. I'm sorry, I'm yelling in it. If look it up, the boar breakfast sausage. Yeah. That is a number one. That's a number one on my list.
We gotta go to Texas then. Get some boar.
You know what? We were gonna do it in March, but I gotta go to a fucking wedding and I gotta do something at work. We still may have it happen, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we definitely got to do that.
Next year.
Next year. Let's do it this year.
Let's do it this year. But next year, I'm saying we can go to Total Archery Challenge in Texas in April, and right after the hog hunt.
Oh yeah,
that'd be sick.
I'm in. Who's going with us? Email us. We'll all meet. I'll set up a place, and I can tell you how many people that can be there, and if you guys want to do it, contact me. Let's do it. Me, you, Wojtek, and whoever else. We'll rent cars. We'll get there the night before. We'll have a dinner as a group, and then we got to drive to the place where I like to go. Because we're very close to the border. It's pretty fun. All right. Yeah, I know what you're laughing about. I'm not going to say it. right? But yes, it is very close to the border, and it's fun to go down there. All right, there's our food segment. Well, look at us, Chef Boyardee. Oh shit, I just did another promo. Chef Boy on me. Okay. All right, let's get into preparing for next season. All right, so hunting goes all year long. If you lose weight, you got to get your camouflage this year. Get your packs ready. It's been he laughed, but it's been a big thing in the last couple of days.
Well, that one guy was here. He weighed
Yesterday.
300 pounds. He
Yeah.
lost like 250 or whatever he weighed, or however much
Oh,
weight he
Carlos.
lost.
Yeah. Carlos Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, he lost like 200 pounds, and now he has to get like all new camo.
Yeah, but he likes buying shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. But the thing is he's all in, and he hunts Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Illinois now, and he's all in. He's got a bunch of bows because he leaves them at certain places, so he doesn't have to travel with them. But yeah, he's a great guy. He's fun, a lot of fun. We're gonna get him on a podcast if you guys don't want to understand anything he's saying because he's got a heavy accent.
Yeah,
but it'll be fun. We can interpretate. I'll do subtitles. I'll learn how to do subtitles. I know he's gonna watch us. He's gonna be like, "You're a dick," but it's true. You're a dick. That's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he would say. He's fun. A lot of
he's
fun.
a cool guy.
Okay, we are off topic already. So getting ready for next season, you got to get your stuff ready. You find out things during every season. Even now with me, I have certain things that I change up. Like this year, I'm doing saddles. I learned I'm newer to saddles, and I've been hunting the same property, my property, for a while. I hunt other properties, obviously, but my property. So I'm set up the way I want to do things. But I screwed myself this year by not having the saddle. I would have chalked it up as, oh, he just wasn't in a good spot. It's an ethical thing not to do. I didn't want to scare him off. But knowing that I could have brought a saddle, I could have had him. No problem. I actually had to take this deer during gun season because I saw him all week, and he stayed away from me all week, except for the one night he was chasing a doe, and I had the opportunity, but I didn't have a saddle. I couldn't get in the position. In your opinion, saddles you get better than a tree stand or what? Let's talk about
like that. You can position yourself in so many different ways on the tree.
Right.
You don't even have to be standing on your platform. You can kind of swing around and put one foot on your top sticks,
branches or whatever.
You can do all kinds of stuff.
And that's what I needed. I needed just to get a little bit of a twist. I didn't have my tree stand exactly where I wanted because of the sun, but I could have came around after that sun went down when he came out, and I could have had him. So the preparation for me this year, and we're going to stay on the getting preparation, is okay. I'm going to go to a saddle 100% next year. I am done with tree stands. I am done. I use climbers, bow hunter climbers. Specifically, I use Summit and API. And I'm only using the names because I don't sell them. But they are great bow hunters tree stands. Used them for 30 years. Love them. But it's these saddles are just amazing. So that changes everything for me. So I have to start practicing, obviously. And unlike everybody else, they'll say, well, what am I going to do? Well, I'm an archery shop, and I am a servant to the archery community. So I have installed a telephone pole on my range, and I will have videos of that. We were just doing pictures just before this. We're getting set up for an open house, so people can start getting ready and start practicing. So first of all, they understand what they have to do, find out what they need to do and what they need to change, and how their setup is comfortable so they can do it in the dark, right? That's a part of your preparation, being able to do everything you need to do in the dark, raising your bow, hooking up your bow, carrying your bow, getting your equipment there, blah, 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 putting up stands, stuff like that. You got to be able to get comfortable. You can do that here, right? And then I want to get to, get all that kind of stuff ready. So I'm ready to go up the tree. So the other thing is a pack. I've been using a sling pack from Crooked Horn for about 30 years. It's made in USA. That's why I got it. I love my sling pack. That's not good for carrying these sticks in this platform.
Mhm.
I like it to carry my gear, so I've been looking and finding packs. Now, I was going to carry a certain pack here, um, but the saddle companies are bound and determined to not really cater to the young, to the small business. They really looking for that big money because there's not a whole lot of margin in these things because they have most everything made overseas. Right? They'll say designed in USA, made overseas. So they have to buy in bulk and they all that other stuff, blah, blah, blah. You guys don't need to know the business end of it. But the thing is it's hard for the small shop unless you want to spend about 10 grand in saddles. And you don't come to me for saddles. You come to me for bow service and archery and learning archery. So it's a small sale for me. So Tethered came out with this new one called the Grit. And I'm signed up to get some. They didn't even start building them yet. They had a few to show us at the show, and they're freaking awesome. So for the beginner to get going. So I'm going to have those. I have some higher end ones already in the shop. Not a whole lot. But I want people to be safe. Being a hunter safety instructor myself, I want people to be safe. So as talking to you, Wojtek, it's good for people to learn how to use them because we're by Chicago and there's not a whole lot of trees for people to access to learn. So I put the pole up.
No, that's a really good idea. When I when I first saw that, I was like, dude, what's that? Because I didn't know you were, because I was out in Florida and I didn't know you were a saddle dealer yet.
Right.
I walk in, I see the pole. I was like, what's this pole for? And I see all these saddles. It's pretty cool. But no, definitely practicing is a big thing. But like before I first started saddle hunting, every Saturday I would just go to the park or something and just climb, just learn how to climb because it.
Getting your sticks.
Yeah.
Do you wrap your, so here's the thing. You have to learn. You got to get the gear. That's great. And all those fucking YouTube videos, those people show you and tell you how to do things. That's great. But you're your own person. I tell people you need to be able to how to do something, not tell you what to do. That's you, as you well know, unless it's on a bow, I don't tell you what to do. But if I tell you something on what to do on a bow, it's imperative that you do that because so you don't screw up for yourself.
You got to figure it out on your own because
Right.
then you'll be comfortable with it.
Like, do I like to run the strap from the left to the right around the tree? Do I, to, like you changed when we were doing the thing, you're like, oh, I want to put the strap this way because this is the way I hang my, so how are you going to hang your gear? How are you going to hang your stuff? And the methods of doing that with paracord, 550 cord, or with straps, or are you going to use an 8er? Are you going to do the 1 stick? Are you going to do the 3 stick? Everybody wants to do the 1 stick because it's light. Listen to me. If you're a grown man and you can't carry 3 of these aluminum sticks, you're a pussy, and that's all there is to it. And you should probably go start working out before you go do it. And I'm saying it to your face. I'm saying it now, and I say if you come into the shop, it's point blank. You got to be able to carry 8 ounces of freaking aluminum. Yeah. So what I was getting at with the gear, you got to get your gear set up. So I have to change from my crooked horn to a backpack because I'm going to be carrying sticks on the bottom. Even on my own property, I go out. There's certain spots that I only hunt when I go to that morning. I sneak in, I go up, stealthily get into my stand, and then I wait. I've moved into their area where they normally don't see me. I've got a couple places on my property that are like that. And I go in, I guaranteed I'm going to see them. I go in, I sit, they're coming. I know they're going to be there. And then I get out. I either take a deer or I get out. That's usually how I do those certain spots. There's only a couple spots like that, but that's my particular situation. That's the way it works. So I got to go to a backpack. So I was going to start carrying these backpacks and I got off topic, blah, blah, blah. So we're working on trying to get some of that, but I will always give a recommendations. Michael Wydell, he is part of the Bone Collector, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to hashtag him on this. I met him a couple times. I met him this year. I talked to him this year. Him and I had a conversation over breakfast one time, and I got to tell him, I saw one of his interviews, and they said, if you like something, even though they don't sponsor you or give you stuff, if you like something that's good, tell people about it. It helps us all. So that's what I'm doing with you guys here. I try not to use too much product stuff because I don't want to direct you. I'm not a John Dudley. I'm not a that ranch fag fairy. I'm not none of that. I try to get you guys to make your own decision. I educate you on what you need, and then we try to find the right equipment because I am a retailer, and I will carry the stuff that you need, not just what I want to carry, what you need. Okay. So, like I said, I'm getting into these backpacks and I'm working on them and I'm trying some stuff out. And I'm going to be, if you come into the shop and talk to me, I'll tell you what's working for me and what's not. I've ordered a lot. I don't want to say because my wife watches these how much. And this is out of my own pocket, people. All right. It's my shop, my money. It's my, I ordered, as you well know, I tried clips. And I unloaded a bag full of clips and stuff the other day. I remember the straps and everything. That's how I'm going to carry everything. What's going to work best? Okay, I got about $300 worth of clips and straps that came in the other day. Who does that? And then when you come to me, I'll say, buy these. They're $695. You're going to spend $695. I spent $300 something. Don't tell me what a write-off is, because write-off is still, you spent your fucking money that could have been in your pocket. They say you're not giving it to the government. Bullshit. If you ain't got no money, the government ain't got no money to take.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. That's all there is to it. Okay. So don't start that write-off shit. There's no free money out there. Nowhere. We all work for it. Okay. So we're getting to so your preparation. So we're going to do that. You got to get your camouflage out there. You got to find out how you're going to get up in the tree. You're going to find out how you're going to lift your bow. And then preparation, obviously, if you're getting a new bow, you got to start shooting it. You got to start seeing what it does long range. You got to start torque tuning it. You got to start getting your arrows set up, do broadhead stuff. This is all stuff you do before. And now when we say we're getting ready for the next season, turkey season's 2 months away. February, March, April. We start in April. So turkey season's already starting here, and it starts earlier down in Florida. So if you're going for the Turkey Grand Slam, which a lot of people do here, you've only got about a month. All right. And I have yet to do that, but I have, out of the 4 turkeys that we can get in the North America, and then the one in South America, not the Osceola, but the whatever the one is. There's, the 4 turkeys that you can get in the United States. I've got places for 3. I haven't got the 4th one yet. So once I get the 4th one, then I'll go for that Grand Slam. I'm not a big turkey fan. I don't like ticks, but I may do it if I get the opportunity. Okay. So anyways, that's the preparation. All right. So if I will expand on that on all my videos on getting ready, and practicing. All right. If you're looking for new bows, the lead times right now are crazy. All right. Some of the companies, I don't want to say their name, but the one company right now, if you order a bow right now, February, you're not going to get it until June. And anybody that's looking at new bows knows who the fuck I'm talking about. All right. That is how they're all about making money. When they do shit like that, it's not about servicing the community. It's about making money. Just remember that. Okay. So that boils over into their customer service and how they deal with their dealers. Okay. So if you put yourself in that position, don't be upset when you have a problem and they can't get you parts, because people do make mistakes. They drop their bow. They dry fire the bow. Releases break, arrows break, all kinds of crazy shit. So you want to look at a company that's going to service you, and that's working for you, has some inventory on hand. Okay. And don't wait 3 months. And they don't wait 3 months to start building left-handed bows for all you left-handers out there. My daughter's left-handed. She's like a magnet for left-handers. I get like tons. I just ordered 3 Hoyt left-handed bows in the last 7 days. So
wow,
that's more than some shops get all year. And I did 40% 1 year of left-handed
left-handers.
bows. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. 40% of my bow sales was left-hander. That includes recurve. I do a ton of recurve. All right. So we're going to start talking about saddles. And that's the main focus of why Wojtek's here. He's my saddle guy. really likes saddles. He's really into it. He works at it, and he really practiced the proper way. Like you were saying, what were you saying? You do what? You went to the park?
Yeah, just go to a park, have fun on a Saturday morning, Sunday.
Just so you know, that's not legal in Chicago parks. In areas of most of Chicago, if you're caught doing this, we did not tell you to go to the fucking park. But if you do it, I understand why you did it.
Well, then go to some place where you can do it. You can climb a tree. And it was hard for me at first because, I tried to go up 4 sticks at once and it was kind of scary.
Or 2-step sticks, right?
No, these were 3 steps.
3 steps.
Yeah, I borrowed my buddy's sticks. They were 3 steps. Put 4 of them up, or he put 4 of them up, and then the platform up there, and then he told me to climb it. And I got to the top, and I was not comfortable. I was like, "This is scary. You're up there." So
scary but safe though, because you had
yeah.
So let's reiterate.
Yeah,
there's a couple parts of a saddle for people that don't understand. We're gonna go over a couple things, so when we're talking, you understand. Okay, so you have what you first have is you have your saddle, which you have around your body, right? It's on you, right? And it has a rope, right, that you can attach to. And then there's a rope that goes around the tree. It's called a lineman's rope. All right. And that lineman's rope is when you climb. I'm sure you've seen people like you heard them with the loggers and the ComEd guys that go up with their spikes in their side or whatever, the spikes in their feet, I should say. Or they climb up and they have a rope around the tree so they can lean back and hold their weight and put their feet securely against a tree. Okay. So we have what we use is climbing sticks. Okay. Climbing sticks are made out of either aluminum or carbon. Now, just because something's light, you want to be light. I would rather carry less stable sticks than more light sticks. Because if you, I want you to stress this very, very much. Okay. Because when I made my selections of what I brought into my shop, it was for stability and safety. All right. What would I use? And that's what I brought into my shop. Okay. If that stick twists and torques under your weight, you're not going to be comfortable. And remember, everything's more brittle, including metal, in the cold. So if it's thin and it twists, it can break. And some of them have. Okay. Some of us are larger than others. Okay. So you want to pick the sticks that are good for you. Okay. I got a guy that comes here. He's like 5 foot tall, 90 pounds. He runs carbon sticks. He says he has no problem. I get on those things and it's like twisting a Twizzler. I mean, I can't use them. They're just no good for me. All right. And I'm not that big. I mean, I'm not small, but I'm not that big. Okay. So you want to get those. And then there's 2 steps and there's 3 steps compared to what you want to use and how you want to use them. All right. Your steps should be no more than right around 19, 20 inches between them. Okay. Because remember, you're going to be going up with your gear and boots and you got to lift your legs. You don't want to be stretching too much. Even though you're able to stretch in the summer and get up there real easy, always remember to practice in your gear. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. The thing you don't really think about when you're climbing and you try to stretch it out, like you said earlier, what you don't think about is you got to come back down. Trying to find that top stick when you're all stretched out, it's not fun. So yeah, you have to be comfortable. Like you said, 17, 18 inches. I just use my foot to my knee, like I showed you. That's perfect.
That's so what he's talking about, foot to the knees, for all you guys on the podcast that can't see anything we're talking about, is when he puts up his next step. This is a guide, and this is what's going to help everybody that's getting into this. He has 2 steps. Okay, so there's 2 steps on his stick. He puts his stick up, and then when he gets on the stick, he's on the bottom step of the 2. He puts his 1 foot up on the top step, and he uses his knee as his judge. So he braces the next stick on his knee and then straps it to the tree. You're leaning back on your lineman's belt, so you're safe. You're stepping on a step. You have your lineman's belt for safety. You step up on that top step. You put your knee against a tree. You lean, you reach around onto your belt, which you have your next step hooked, and that's part of the preparation. Okay. And then you put the next stick on your knee, put it on the tree, and then strap it on. So you're comfortable. You're working right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know it's at the right spacing. So when you go up to step on your top step, the distance from your top step to the bottom step of the next one is the distance between your foot and your knee, which is usually around 19, 20 inches.
Mm-hmm.
It's a comfortable step for you. That's a great way. And that's why he's here tonight. He has these little tricks he's found, and he found that by doing your preparation.
Yeah.
Wojtek hunts all year long, even when he's fishing. He's looking when he's in Pennsylvania fishing,
Mm-hmm.
he's looking around saying, oh, there's deer here. There's deer here there. I'm going to go here, blah, blah, blah. Because he hunts and fishes very close. He has some family property and friends out there that he's able to do. So that's part of your preparation. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then just going back to finding a place where you can set up and practice. Like the first week, I set up one stick platform. And what I was working on was, because I was so low to the ground, I wasn't like scared. I was super comfortable.
Getting your rope set.
The rope. Yeah. Working
yeah.
the rope is a trick. It's a skill. You know, you have to be comfortable.
I wouldn't say it's
things.
tricky.
Not a trick, but
it's just getting it. Do you do like, so I put my lineman's belt. I have 2 pouches on mine. I put my lineman's belt on my left side. And then I keep my aider, because I use an aider. And if you guys want to learn about that stuff, you got to look up YouTube videos or come into my shop and talk to me. I'll show you what I use and how I use it and what you might think about doing. And there's different ways. We're going to talk about some of that material later. And then I use my my tether, which I hook to the tree. And that's what you ultimately clip into.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Did I go through that when I talked about the parts?
No.
Okay.
Tether's the last one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So get back to the parts. And as you guys know, my podcast, I wander all over the place. I swear, I drink, I'm wandering all over the place, but there's a lot to go by. The thing is you have your saddle, your sticks, your lineman's rope, which goes around and helps you climb. And then once you get up there, what you tie to the tree or you wrap around the tree is your tether. And then you hook your saddle into that. And then you can take your lineman's off and put it away. My lineman's on my left. I store my tether on my right. And I also store my aider on my right. So that's where I keep it, because I take my aider off after I get past my first step. I take it off and I bring it up with me because I don't want anything hanging, because the deer where I hunt are from Harvard. They're really fucking smart. Yale and Harvard. The one deer that goes to Harvard makes fun of all the ones that go to Yale, just so you know. And then there's the one from Princeton that we all make fun of. Anyways, so I'm just using that. That's a Big Bang thing. Okay. Just the guys that watch Big Bang Theory, yeah, don't understand what I'm talking about. So anyways, so go on.
Yeah. And
you were practicing getting in,
just with the ropes. Cause like sometimes you don't think about these things, but like
stepping on the platform. You were talking about stepping on.
Yeah. I'll go over that in a sec, but like, you don't think
Yes.
about these things, but like when your rope's all twisted or something, like you don't want to, get pissed off or anything. You just want to
how to put it in the pouch,
Yeah,
put it in,
do everything.
put it in from
easy.
back to front or front to back. So when you take it out, it's easy. It's not in a knot.
Yeah, you don't
Just
wanna
like
be
when you
doing-
lift up your bow. All these idiots that think they're going to take paracord and lift up their bow. Oh my God. Excuse me. And as you guys know, I don't edit anything, so you're going to hear that. Anyways, you learn to do this preparation. You learn to like when I use a tree stand, I put my clips in certain ways. I put so much out. If I'm going to a tree, I put it at a certain position. Having things ready to take apart and put together, because you're doing it in the wee hours of the morning or at night, you're picking them up. You want things to be comfortable and set up ready for you in the morning or the evening when you're going back in or out. Yeah. So you were talking about getting in and the really cool thing was he was talking about practicing and really smart was the getting in and out of the platform.
Yeah. So just practice, have fun, go over there into like the woods or something and set it up. But here's the thing that's really important that nobody ever talks about. It's a huge safety thing, and safety is number one. Like there's no point in trying to rush and or anything and get injured.
If you want to be in the stand at a certain time, by practicing, you know how long it takes you to get into the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And always give yourself a little extra time if it's the first time you're getting in this tree because of bark and squirrels, skunks, and everything else that happens out there. If you follow my Chicago archery bow hunter on Instagram, you'll see some of the skunk and neighbors and all the shit that I go through. But you were talking about getting in and out of the platform.
Yeah.
And practicing. So here's another part you got to think about. You're putting your sticks up. Okay. You don't just put them anywhere. What side do you like to go up the tree? Where, how do you climb the tree? And then with your ropes, where do you put your platform? How much rope you got to use to get around your platform to keep your linemans around so you're still connected to the tree, getting up and in and out, and how you have to do to step and how you move your ropes, doing that all low first, like you were talking about, doing it low, and then learning, oh, I should put my stand at this level. You don't have to tell them what level or whatever. They'll figure that out. I like to put mine high. I like to step into it, step out of it, put it lower than my last stick. Use my stick, but at the same level, and use my stick because when you're in a saddle, your feet, you use basically a platform just to keep your feet from sliding.
Yeah, you're leaning. It's all
you're leaning all the time, or your knees against a tree. And let me explain something about this saddle hunting that people aren't really grasping it's okay. I was going to say something, but I'm going to tell you this. I wanted to hate this so bad. And I did. I said, there's no way you're going to be stable. Then I talked 2 years ago to Levi Morgan, who I know. And I said to Levi, hey, man, you're a championship shooter. You're about accuracy. You are now with the Trophy Line brand. And I know you represent him, but I know he's a straight up guy. And I'm like, what? Why is it you're into these things? They're not that stable. He's like, hey, I wanted to hate these things. And my wife threw her hands in the air. She's like, oh my God, that's exactly what he said. That's exactly what I say is I want to hate these things, but I mean, they got to be something about them. So he talked and he said, they're more stable than a regular tree stand. So then they have at the demonstrations at the show, blah, 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 where we were talking, he was showing me and I got in a saddle and here, okay. Yeah. So when you're coming to talk to me about these, Levi Morgan showed me how to get into a goddamn saddle. Okay. It's funny, but it's one of those things you get as a feather in your cap, when you get to use it. He showed me how it's more stable on the pole. And that's what I put a pole for. That's why you practice out when you can, is to find out these different positions that make you more stable. We'll go into that on another podcast or the open house that I'm going to be having at Chicago Archery. We're going to have a Chicago Archery open house where I'm going to have experienced and non-experienced people for saddle hunting to come in. And I'm going to have like appetizers and some refreshments and stuff where people can come in and just check out and relax. And we're not going to be selling a bunch of shit. We're just going to be trying to get people in the community to understand them. And if they want to order stuff, and I want to find out what people want, and I'll get them in so you can have it, practice it, and do it, right?
Yeah, no, they're cool. They make so much sense. I have a buddy who was the same way. He hated them. He thought they were dumb. And then I'm like, you want to try mine? And he's like, nah. And I was like, come on. I set up my platform like, a foot off the ground. I put the tether up there. He put my saddle on. Now he wants one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'll tell you, the more you learn about the saddles, the more you want to use them.
Mhm.
And I kicked myself for not having that shot at that big buck with my bow all week because man, he was good.
You can hide with the saddle. We
Oh, you
told
can
you
hide.
before, yeah.
So if you want to be behind a tree where they don't see you because the sun
Yeah.
comes in from the east or west and you're behind the tree, but you know they come out at sunset.
Mhm.
So you don't want to be out there visible. So you're out there, but you can't get the shot afterwards. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was chasing a doe. I was in the shadows and I needed to pop out and I couldn't do it on a regular stand.
Mhm.
Could not do it. So I wish I had my saddle with me. I was just getting new to it last year. I'm okay. I'm old. I get it. But and it's a lot of money for a retail, a small business to get into this because they want you to order so much. So you got to kind of pick what you want to use. And the company I picked, they didn't have their sticks ready, and I used another brand and stuff like that. And now I'm finding out I picked the right brand, man. This Hawk they're a little bit heavier, but man, those things are crazy stable. So we have those. And then we obviously are going to have the tethered grip saddles. And I have the Latitude saddles on the higher end because they make a really nice saddle. They're dicks to work with, but they have a really nice saddle.
No, it's comfortable. I said
Yeah,
that one.
yeah. But that's pretty much it for that. You got anything to add to the saddles or anything? Or anything today at all? Period.
Just have fun, like the more fun you have with hunting, the more you're going to be out there, the more you're going to prep for it. People don't want to prep because maybe they don't like it too much or something, and they're forcing themselves during the season, but just have fun with it.
How about practice with your bow?
Practice
The
with your bow.
preparation with the
Mhm.
practice with the bow. You shoot a lot. And you did a great shot on your deer this year, no matter what the range was. And you know what? Just so you know, people that say, "Well, I only shot at 10 yards," that means you're a better deer hunter. You got that deer within 10 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking hard. When people don't understand it, I am a guy that practices out to 100 yards, and I've never shot a deer over 31 yards, I think it was. I've never had to. I just bring them right into me.
Mhm.
I shoot more right up close than I've ever shot any far. I've shot it, and the only reason I say that is because the longest shot I've made was 63 yards on an antelope, pronghorn antelope in the wind. And I practiced for that shot all 12 months. I went out in the rain, the wind, mostly I drove to places, Kansas, where I could practice. Went out in the field and practiced in Kansas in the long winds just to see what my arrow would do. So that's another thing, part of preparation for the next season. See what your bow can do. If you're going to go on a moose hunt, and let me tell you something right now, moose is my holy grail. I've got one. We're looking at one right now. I got one on the wall right across from us. It's going to rain the fucking entire time you're going to be there. Okay. So, and you're going to be in a swamp. I like to tell people if it's storming, raining, and you got a river close or a swamp nearby, put on your waders, go up to your waist into the pond. Hopefully it's muck so it gets you off balance. And in the storming rain, practice shooting your bow because that's moose season.
Oh, wow.
And if you don't do that, you're fucked. So, you have to see it to believe it. 9 days of rain I went through. So, yep. We had 6 hours of sunshine, and that was the 6 hours we used to butcher the moose. And the rest of the time, it rained,
Wow.
which was good. We were able to get water. We were able to make water stations up because we had to carry our moose 2.1 miles each way. So we had to set up Nalgene bottles and everything else could trap water. The other thing is with practicing your bow, you're doing a lot of tuning.
Yeah, make sure your bow's dialed.
You're going with new arrows this year.
Yep, new arrows.
Very
Trying
cool.
something new.
So
your sight, third axis. If you're shooting up high, that's important.
yeah,
Make sure that's dialed in.
yeah,
Everything.
definitely. That buzzing you're hearing is my wife telling me that I need to get ready for dinner. And we've probably talked too long. So we're probably about 45 minutes to an hour. I hope everybody enjoyed this. This was a lot of wandering around talking,
Mhm.
but it was hugely good. And Wojtek is probably one of the kings of preparation. No, you are. I mean, you try different veins on your arrows every year, which people should try. You learn to build your own arrows. You've learned to start tuning your own bow. I sold you one of my old bow presses, which I normally don't do, but Wojtek and I talk a lot. He comes and practices here and buys his own bows here. So I've been helping him learn how to tune his bows. He's younger, so obviously he's going to get good at it. And when I die, Jessica's going to need help. So Wojtek's probably going to pick up and help on the weekends, tune up bows during season or something. You know, we never know what's going to happen around here. And then there's Maddie. Maddie's, you know, she's just fantastic, you know, and Jessica. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're rock stars.
Oh my God. My daughter Jessica for getting people ready for season, learning and doing and picking up their little nuances. She is, oh my God, taking it to a level like I've never seen before. So proud of her. It's unbelievable. So, all right. Well, wasn't too much swearing today. I should just say fuck, 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 fuck real quick. All right. Oh, here's the best one. Okay. I'm going to get horrible over here for a quick, but this whole thing where your phone listens to you all the time and it's listening right now while you're listening to this podcast. So if I say something like big purple dildo, big purple dildo, big purple dildo, the next time you're on Facebook or Instagram, you could thank me for that because it's going to bring up advertisements for a big purple dildo. All right. So I just want to say that's the end of our podcast. It's true. It works. But I just want to say thanks for Wojtek for coming out and helping out. He didn't have a whole lot to say today. He had some, but it's important that people understand that they practice and for safety, right?
Yeah. No, safety is key. You know, you want to have another season, right?
Yeah.
Oh, confidence. Yeah.
Yeah. Confidence. So we have the Chicago Archery Triangle. Confidence brings confidence brings consistency. Consistency brings accuracy. Accuracy builds your confidence, brings consistency. That's the Chicago Archery Triangle. That's mine. I own that, just so you know. That and Cosmic Archery.
I've never done that. I got to do that.
Oh, it's so fucking fun. We'll do it Wednesday. I'll turn them on. It's big.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. It's so fun. So I just want to thank everybody for listening to the podcast. Remember, CA to the point, Chicago Archery to the point, at gmail.com. You can email me. Tell me how much you fucking hate me. Tell me how much you like me. I have no feelings. I was in the Marine Corps. They never gave them back. They lost us. Just like everything with the U.S. government, they take away from me and they no give them back. So, and all of my friends in Australia, thank you. You guys are the best. Australian archers are fucking awesome. And I'm going to, if you don't know about it, it's fucking awesome. Wojtek, thank you for coming out today, man.
Thank you for having me.
And you got anything to add to practice or anything or getting preparation on the spot? Here we are. Oh, by the way, he didn't know we were doing a podcast together until just about an hour.
Yeah, it's like an hour ago.
That's how I do it. That's why these are so much fun. So anything to add to that? What would you do if you were getting ready now? I mean, what's your focus right now?
Get ready now. If it snows where you live, make sure you go. That's your cue to go to public land and
Ooh, good.
Find the deer.
That's what you were doing.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I found sheds, so that the proof is in the pudding, so to speak. Right. And again, just have fun with it. Be passionate about it, and that's all I have to say.
All right, cool. And if you're getting ready for turkey season, go look for turkey prints. Go out and gobble, see if they're out in the trees. There's not a whole bunch of leaves. You can see them. Remember when you're camouflaging your gear and getting it ready and painting it. I did some painting of some new sticks I got. To remember that you use fall colors. The only thing green in the fall are weeds. So if you got weeds in your trees, fine. But if you're going to put sticks up in a tree, remember what color the tree is in the fall. All right. This is Bob from Chicago Archery, Wojtek, one of our shooters here. And I just want to thank everybody. And once again, thanks Wings of Severance for the opening. AJ, you guys, man, you fucking rock. I love watching Wings of Severance. If you're in the Chicagoland area, look up Wings of Severance. Go see them where they're playing. Find them out. They're out in the Chicagoland area. They play all over and they're fucking awesome. Download their songs. They kick ass. And if you get a chance, come into Chicago Archery. If you're from out of town, come in, buy a sweatshirt, t-shirt, bow, anything. We got it.
A saddle.
Saddle. If I got any left. Come and talk to me. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care. We're out.